life is going to continue throwing curveballs at you. It's going to see how far it can push you, how far it can pull you, how much it can bend you, and at times it may in fact even break you. But the one thing you need to do is don't let other people's negativity, other atmospheric negative vibes impact you, because all that's going to do is pile up on top of you. So an example, today was probably one of the hardest days I've had to deal with bullshit in a while. Started out with dealing with somebody's negative personal emotions first thing in the morning. And where I fucked up is that I allowed that to kind of enter my mind and occupy space. And then that was the spiral till about later on in the afternoon. So I let somebody's negative vibes and negative attitudes kick in the morning, first thing in the morning. You know, it was eating away at me. I was thinking about the bullshit that was discussed. And then, you know, driving around, I drive a dump truck. So driving around, you know, letting these negative vibes take space in my mind caused more negative, I guess, manifestations. Because at one point driving, somebody almost eats a stop sign and I'm in a fully loaded dump truck and I almost take them out. I probably missed them by like 1.5 feet. With that being said, you know, normally I would have been like cursing this person out for being a dumbass for almost eating the light. But all I could think about at that time was just, holy shit, if that person would have ate the stop sign, I would have killed them. Because that truck was weighing at least like 48,000 pounds. I would have fucking killed him. So I was more concerned with that, you know, somebody's well-being. So that was problem number 2. Problem number 3, middle of the afternoon, somebody guiding my dump truck so that I can get rid of the dirt and stuff, guides me on some soft mulch that just gives out underneath me. Basically, the bottom fell out that bitch and got my truck stuck for a solid like 2 hours because the truck was full when it got stuck. So I tried to get another dump truck to pull me out, but my truck was too heavy. They couldn't pull me out. So we had to go little by little, piece by piece, you know, open the bed and use the machines to scoop out the dirt so I was light enough to get out. But just that frustration was building up to the point where I was heated. But, you know, I didn't let it overcome me to the point where I quit and had to call in, you know, the heavy guns to come bring machines to get me out. You know, I didn't want to make that phone call. I didn't want to be that fucking guy. So I just kept, you know, stuck to the plan. At times it was hard. I had to walk away. And then, you know, finally I was like, you know, I think the truck's light enough. So hooked it back up to the other dump truck and we both just gunned it. He finally pulled me out and I could literally feel as the truck was pulled free, the relief. It's kind of like, guys know what I'm talking about. When you're trying to get that one bolt off and that bolt is stripped or that bolt is rusted, that shit is old, and you finally give it one last shot and you just feel that pop and that motherfucker comes loose, and the relief that you feel is exactly what I felt, you know, when that truck came out. And at that point I realized it was all bullshit, because if I was able to get over it that simple, if you're able to get over something that simple, that the second a positive thing comes at you, it's fucking gone or lifted, it really wasn't that serious to begin with. Sometimes shit just happens. And one of the main things you need to do is to make sure you don't let it overcome your emotions to where you start, that's all you're thinking about is that negative shit. You know, life is going to keep coming at you, good, bad, or indifferent. Life don't give a fuck. You know, we can't control what happens. The only thing that we really can control is how we react and how we deal with the negative actions. You know, do we hold on to it? Do we dwell on it? Do we let it, you know, fuck up our day, even if it doesn't have anything directly to do with us? You know, how do you act based on the actions happening in and around you? You know, says a lot about who you are. You know, we can address it, just don't let it take over. You know, we're always stronger than what we think we are. You know, so don't be afraid to take on adversity. When adversity comes your way, don't crumble, don't make that phone call, don't give in, but also look at around you. Look at the people around you. You know, when my truck was stuck, I looked at the people around me for help, Because I wasn't going to jump in the back of that truck with my hands and scoop it out with a shovel and scoop it out. I'm not scooping out 15 tons of dirt, you know. I looked at the guys in the equipment, opened up the tailgate, was able to use the equipment to get it out. You know, a couple of guys were throwing wooden boards and rocks underneath the truck because they didn't want to make that phone call either, because that just gives extra bullshit to their day, because now they've got to deal with the higher echelon of people all up in their shit, you know. I got the other driver. We hooked up chains and he was able to pull me out. So life at times, if you feel like it's becoming a lot, look at your circle. Look at the people you have around you. You know, the people around you helping you, or the people around you just looking. You know, have the right people around you, because that's what we need. That's the whole tribe mentality. You know, the people in your tribe, the people that were around you at the time, were the ones you relied on for survival, for interaction, for support. You know, make sure those people that are around you are the ones that should be around. Are they helping you as much as you're helping them, or are you simply the one that is helping them all the times? And they're takers, because the takers have no limits. They just keep taking. It's the giver's job to find out what those limits are. And don't be afraid to walk away from people. You know, don't abandon them, because you won't want to be abandoned yourself. But sometimes we need to step away. We need to regroup and see how else we're going to address these problems, you know? So you just keep on building in a positive manner. Life is going to be negative at times, you know? Find those people around you. If you know people around you are in negative times, be that person to help them. Be that person that they can turn to. You know, don't always act on self. Don't be selfish. Be selfless.